we didn't have our ultimate, we do have our ultimate now. Hit him with Sunder. Gonna go cast our ultimate. Lock both of them in here. We're able to get the pick onto the King Arthur. What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy Shawnee B Gaming, and today we have a viewer request and a skin showcase to play the Coral Coast Yemoja as support. If you are new to the channel, I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intentions of seeing what went right, what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If there is something that we learn together, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more content. As always, the full build is in the description down below. If you are a returning viewer, Yemoja is really good. Yemoja has a lot of abilities that are very helpful in team fights, and you gotta kind of focus, figure out which ability is best. Polar Bear Mike, the SBL players, had a great quote. It was, "I don't think I've ever played a Yemoja fight perfectly," and that's because she just has so many abilities that do so many good things in team fights. It takes a while to figure out what's best in which situation. So let's go ahead and jump into her kit. Yemoja's one is actually two abilities. It's Bouncing Bubble and Moonstrike. You have to use one and then it switches to the other. For Bouncing Bubble, Yemoja's going to throw a giant bubble that's going to bounce twice. It's going to slow enemies by 30% and then explode into smaller bubbles, dealing 50% of the damage. If you're hit by both bounces, you're going to take 50% damage on the second hit. Moonstrike, this is more of a horizontal attack. There's going to be 5 circles. The larger circle is in the middle. If it hits an enemy in the center, it's going to stun them and deal the most damage. Yemoja's 2. Yemoja's going to shoot a line attack that heals allies and then bounces to other allies nearby. It's going to heal them and provide them a small shield. Yemoja's 3. Riptide. Yemoja is going to create a little circle that can either push an enemy and ally forward or push an enemy and ally backwards. It's going to increase movement speed for allies and decrease movement speed for enemies. The movement speed is going to be 10% at level 1, 30% at level 5. It's going to grant protections, 20 protections, physical and magical at level 1, 40 at level 5, and it's going to slow by 20% for 2 seconds. The rings last for 6 seconds. Yemoja's ultimate. Yemoja is going to summon 2 walls that block enemy movement and projectiles. After a delay, the river is going to cascade down, dealing damage and trembling enemies. Yemoja is going to gain a buff to her Omi regeneration whenever she's standing between the 2 walls. The initial slow is going to be 90%, decreased by 30% each second. The slow duration is 3 seconds, and the Omi regeneration is 1 Omi every 2 seconds. And finally, Yemoja's passive. Yemoja does not use mana, and only her ultimate has a cooldown. Yemoja uses Omi to cast spells. She starts with 7 and can earn up to 10. Yemoja gains 1 Omi plus 0.01 per level every 5 seconds, and cooldown reduction increases Omi regeneration. Yemoja gains 1 Omi plus 0.01 per level every 5 seconds, and cooldown reduction increases Omi regeneration. Yemoja's basic attack healing only affects gods and does not proc items. In terms of the leveling order, at level 1, we want to put a point into our 1, level 2, put a point into our 3, level 3, put a point into our 2, level 4, another point into our 1. We want to max out our ultimate whenever we can, max out our 1, max out our 2, max out our 3. In terms of the start, we started with Benevolence and tier 1 of Stone and Binding. Benevolence is going to provide us 100 health, 10 MP5, 7 HP5. It has a passive that you gain 3 gold per 5 seconds plus 0.5 per level and 1 XP per 5 seconds plus 0.5 per level. Anytime you would gain experience or gold from slain enemies, you only receive 90% of the reward. If an allied god is within 40 units of you, you give the lost 10% to that ally. This can be upgraded at level 17. For our Relic, we went with Sunder. I think we have a couple of options, but with the new Sunder, we wanted to try it out. In the early game, if we can get our 3 off onto an enemy and push them towards us, we're going to be able to set up our Hunter, which is something we want to work on. Year 3, I want to say like 80% of the distance will cause it to face forward and launch you and allies and enemies forward. Then the other 20% furthest away from you is going to cause it to knock them backwards or towards you. We were able to set Neath up with 2 kills this game so far, so we got ourselves 2 assists. We're going to go ahead and invade the enemy purple buff since the enemy Serb is down. Get the stun, we're going to go ahead and pick up this purple. We are out of health potions, so we are going to be pretty careful here. We get our Sunder onto the Hoi, throw our 1 off, that forces him to jump. I like the changes to Sunder. I'm glad that Sunder is back in the meta. It has 2 charges, and it also increases the amount of damage that enemies take if they're sundered, just like ye old Sunder. We do have enough money for Stone and Binding, so we're going to go ahead back. Probably start heading to mid lane. Stone and Binding is going to provide us with 30 magical power, 30 magical protections, 30 physical protections, and 10 MP5. It has a passive that successfully hitting an enemy god with crowd control will place a debuff on the enemy, reducing their magical and physical protections by 10 for 5 seconds. So if we hit our enemy with our 1, either version of it, or our 3, we're going to place the Stone and Binding passive on the enemy. We also picked up 2 wards. We want a ward for our mid laner as support.
Just a precaution. You never know.
On my way.
Once we start getting into fights, I feel like there's going to be a lot that we could analyze to see if we are choosing the right ability. Janus is keeping his distance. We're trying to get our 3 off. Kali is here. We do have our ultimate. We get hit by the Janus ultimate. I think he was just ulting the minions, so that way he could back without missing any XP.
Ultimate is ready.
We hit Kali with our 3. Throw up our 1. We hit her with it, so it's going to slow her.
No problem.
Kali jumps in. We do have our ult. Serb's not here. We're just going to cast our ult, buy ourselves a little bit of time, use our 3. If we would have taken like 3 steps back and used our ultimate, we would have trapped the enemies. We're going to Sunder, throw up our 1, and Dodge is able to get the pick onto the Cerberus.
Okay. Time out.
We're very weak. We're going to start falling back. Kali is on us. We're going to go down right here. Unfortunate. Our teammate is able to clean her up. We'll take that trade. Our support going down to get the pick onto the enemy jungler. We have a pretty solid team comp as well. We need the enemy to go for a lot of relics. Or we force the enemy to go for a lot of relics. We have Aegis from the Agni or the Neath. We have Beads from the Dodgy or the Agni. Then we have Phantom from the Odin Cage. So I like our team comp. It's pretty solid.
I need the jungle buff.
Janus is a little tricky to hit with our 3. He's going to be able to just go through walls instead of being forced to go through our 3.
No problem.
I wouldn't say that Janus is a counter pick to Yemoja, but Yemoja doesn't play into Janus as well as she does for some of the other mid laners. Like if we were going against the Zhonghui, who's becoming pretty popular right now, our 3 would be very effective against them.
They hurt your friends.
So far this game, I think we are a little 3 focused, which probably isn't the best thing because the 3 doesn't do any damage. We should probably be throwing off our 1 more than any other ability.
On my way.
We need walls.
We have our ult, we have a Sunder. We were thinking about rotating right, and then we saw Kali. That 3 is giving us increased movement speed and protection, so it is helping us get out. We're able to step out of the Serbolt. Dodgy's able to get the pick onto the Serb. We cast our ultimate, but Janus is able to walk right through it. Used his beads and avoided the dodgy pull. Whenever we are casting our ultimate, we want the enemies to be as close to the center of our ultimate as possible. so they don't walk over the wall as the wall is forming. If we can, we want to try to basic attack things through our allies, so that way we heal our allies as we're dealing damage with our basic attacks. I'd say focus on this more when you're going against minions than enemy gods. If you're in a team fight, just survive, do your thing. We get the 3 off, but we're not able to do anything with it, and he's able to just portal through the wall.
On my way.
We're going to go ahead and rotate right. King Arthur does have a level on Odin. We might not even be needed right here.
Enemy missing middle. Enemy missing middle.
We get our 1 off,
An enemy has
and our Odin's able to get the pick.
good one.
We really didn't do a whole lot right there. I'm surprised that King Arthur was trying to fight that.
Ultimate is down.
Be careful in that bush here. Be careful in the jungle.
Janice is pretty weak. Serb jumps in. I'm gonna throw off our 1. We missed the stun. We did get a little bit of damage off though.
Be right back.
Be right back.
We have enough money for a Gauntlet of Thebes, so we're gonna go ahead back and pick that up. Gauntlet of Thebes is gonna provide us with 300 health and 15 HP 5. As a passive, that an assist on a minion gives you 1 stack, an assist on an enemy god gives you 5 stacks. Each stack provides 1 physical and 1 magical protection. At 50 stacks, this item evolves, providing an aura of 10 physical and 10 magical protections. So whenever it is fully evolved, it's going to provide 300 health, 50 physical protections, 50 magical protections, and 15 HP 5. Gauntlet of Thebes is still a really solid item in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and throw off our 2. First time we've used our 2 in a team fight. That's a Janus ultimate. 4 people here. I'm going to throw off our 2 again. Provide a heal and a shield. We're going to hit Asunder.
You cannot save them.
Janus goes down to Dodgy. We hit King Arthur with our other Asunder.
An
We get the
enemy
slow
has
off.
been slain.
Our teammates are able to clean up the fight in mid. King Arthur is kind of the only one left. We throw off our 2. Good shield. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save Dodgy altogether. It bought her another second or 2.
You don't need
And Odin's able to clean up the King Arthur. So we definitely got the better end of that team fight. Gauntlet of Thebes is still a really solid item in my opinion. It provides 50 physical and magical protections along with 300 health and 15 MP5 for the price of 2,350 gold. So it's pretty cheap. You just got to get it fully stacked up to get the maximum amount of value from it.
We need
Hello,
more.
sugar. Not scared of a little water, are you? Just a precaution. You never
But if we take the passive of the 10 physical protections and 10 magical protections out of it, Gauntlet of Thebes is still solid for the price. There's not a lot of items that provide 300 health plus 50 of each protections, and then on top of that there's the MP5, and it's still relatively cheap.
You rock. Enemy missing middle. Cancel that.
Serb jumps in. We get a stun. That's the Serb ult. We are going to eat this. Just trying to make sure that Agni's okay. We get our 3 off. Hit him with the 1. That's going to slow him. We missed the stun.
You Ultimate is
cannot
ready.
save them.
Neath onto the Janus. The stun. He beats the Neath ult. We have our ultimate. We're able to get the stun. Hit him with the 1. And we're able to get the pick onto the Cerberus.
Thanks.
With Yemoja's ultimate, you want to lock down one way into the cage, essentially. So by ulting into a wall, they only have one way to get out. You can then use your stuns, your 1s, and your 3 to trap them in the ultimate. We get the stun, and we're able to set up for the Kali. Oh, nope, we're able to set up for the Agni.
Attack the Gold Fury.
We're gonna go ahead and make our way to the Gold Fury. Poison lane, so we should be able to secure this for free.
I'll defend middle lane. Your middle tower is under attack.
We get this stun. Throw off our one, that's gonna be the slow. Serb is able to get the pick onto the tower. We get the stun. We're chasing. We're hungry for it. We don't do a whole lot of damage. Hit him with the Sunder. Oh no, he's able to get out. Callie's on us. We're gonna throw off our 3.
Be right back.
And it looks like we're able to get out. They have 3 physical characters on the team, so we're going to go ahead back and pick up Sovereignty. Sovereignty is going to provide us 250 health and 45 physical protections. As a passive, the allied gods within 70 units have their physical protections increased by 15 and their HP 5 increased by 35. The really cool thing on this item is the 35 HP 5. This combined with Gauntlet Thebes, we're going to be sitting at 50 HP 5. So we're gaining 10 HP 5 every second, or 10 health every second. I don't like Heartward Amulet, the magical counterpart to Sovereignty, nearly as much because it provides MP 5. The HP 5 on this item is really, really valuable.
On my way. Follow me.
Needs in a little bit of trouble, we're going to rotate over.
Follow me.
An ally has been slain.
Ultimate is ready.
We're going to go ahead and cast our ultimate. Unfortunately, we didn't connect to the wall. Agony's going deep for it. He's able to get the pick. We do have our shell now for our second relic. Between our shell and our 2, we should really be able to keep our allies alive during team fights.
Not scared of a little water, are you?
Retreat.
We get the stun. Hit Callie with a Sunder. Dodger's now here. We're going to try to push her there.
Be careful.
That's an Ethol coming in. Callie jumps further away. Serb's able to eat it. Serb gets hit by a 3. Janice is nearby. We get our stun. Dodgy's able to get the pick onto the Cerberus. It looks like we're going to start trying to fall back here. We throw our 2 off.
Thanks. Retreat.
No problem.
Falling back. Cancel.
No problem.
We're going to go ahead back, start working on Relic Dagger.
I'm going for jungle buff.
Odin looks like he needs a little bit of help. Even if it's just holding his lane for him, we're going to rotate over.
Your right tower is under attack.
We didn't have our ultimate. We do have our ultimate now. Hit him with Sunder. Gonna go cast our ultimate. Lock both of them in here. We're able to get the pick onto the King Arthur. Throw off our 1. That's a Callie jump. We're gonna throw off our 3. We're able to knock her back. Odin should be able to clean that up. If not, the Neath ult. Oh no, somebody ate it. That is unfortunate.
Your right tower has been destroyed. Enemy missing middle.
Serb now here. Throw off our 1. Get the stun. Keep up the damage. Keep up the pressure. That's an Odin cage. Serb is able to jump out.
Wait. Sorry. Follow me.
Instead of throwing our 3 right there, throwing our 2 and providing a heal and a shield would have been more valuable.
You don't need help.
Callie gets deleted. Man, we are just trying to get our 3 off this game more than we need to. Throwing our 1 and 2 would definitely be more effective in some of these situations. That's Serb's jump. We're able to get the stun. He gets melted. We're able to get the final hit onto him.
Be careful left.
We're checking builds.
Group up. Attack the Gulf Fury.
Right now, we're a higher level than their jungler and their carry. So that is not a good sign for them. You do not want the enemy support to be a higher level than you. This is the Primal Fury. If we're able to secure it, it's going to provide a stack buff. You can stack up to 3 times for each time you kill the Primal Fury. The buff is going to provide additional damage to jungle monsters. This includes Harpies, Colored Camps, Pyromancers, the Dagger, Future Gold Furies, and the Fire Giant.
Be right back.
We're going to go ahead and start falling back. We're going to back and pick up Relic Dagger, then start working on Pridwen. Relic Dagger is going to provide us with 350 health, 10% cooldown reduction, 10% crowd control reduction, and 7% movement speed. It has a passive that your relics receive 40 seconds off their cooldown. Unfortunately, the enemy Cerberus leaves. I guess he wasn't having too much fun.
Attack Fire Giant.
Having a blast.
It's an Odin Cage. We do have our ultimate. We cast our ultimate. And King Arthur goes down.
You don't need help.
Koyi goes down. They only have Callie left, so we're going to go ahead and start pushing some structures.
Attack middle lane. Time to bounce.
That's the tier 2. We're able to get our 3 off onto the Janus. That might have been our best 3 all game.
Attack Fire Giant.
We're able to secure the middle Phoenix. Now we're going to make a play for Fire Giant.
An enemy has returned. No problem.
Serb came back, but he's such a low level. I don't think he's really going to be able to make a huge impact this game. Between me tanking and Neith and Agni dealing damage, we should be able to secure the Fire Giant. The Fire Giant is going to provide our team with the buff that increases our HP 5, our MP 5, and allows us to deal more damage to structures.
Attack right lane.
Attack right lane. Ultimate is ready.
Get our 3 off. That's going to slow him. That's an Odin Cage.
Not save them.
We're going to go ahead and cast our ultimate. And he's able to squeeze out. How unfortunate.
You have killed before.
King Arthur goes down.
Attack right lane.
We're gonna go ahead and just tank the tower for our team.
An enemy has been slain.
Janus ult down.
Bitchin'.
Janus goes down.
You made your own.
He is very close. Interesting jump. He kind of jumps back into us.
Gonna burn.
They're charging at us one by one. This is easy cleanup. We used our Sunner on King Arthur. They offer one.
An enemy has been slain. You have killed before. No
Titans
more
under half health. We should be able to close this out right here. Well, if you enjoyed this game, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That really helps these videos out. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. These stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.